Hello, everybody. This is Safe Word, a platform for teaching, learning, and opening the eyes of our audience to the world of kink and BDSM. I am your host, Remy DeBow.
And I am your second host, Aurora Storm.
I am your co-host, Kane Marcos.
And I am your second co-host, Miss Sasha Lyncher.
If you watched our last video, it was all on hair pulling and scratching. Kane.
The link for that video is in the description below, or it will be.
Yes. And don't forget to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all your kinky news.
All right, so we are Safe Word, and here on Safe Word, we have a safe word of the day. We use this safe word to halt, stop, and completely pause all conversation. You guys look excited tonight. Extremely
Right.
excited. So we use this word to stop, halt. If you don't like what's being said, you can say the safe word. So, crew, would you like to tell us what the safe word of the day is? We like this one.
Yeah.
2, 3.
Imagination.
Because we said imagination so many dang times through our live on our last live. So the word is now imagination. So if you cannot hear, because we have some audio issues with Zoom and YouTube, and there's lagging and all that fun stuff. So we have a symbol or a hand signal that we do so that if you're not being heard through the mics, you can throw out this hand signal. And we're going to change it up today. Does everybody want to show us what our new hand signal is for imagination? We did it once already. Ready, everybody? 1, 2, 3. I guess Remy ain't participating tonight. He said, So this on the screen. Hello, imagination. And make sure you say imagination so that everybody knows what the safe word of the day.
Just know Remy's not going to throw it up anyway.
It's okay.
Just know Remy's not fun and never participates in anything cool that we do here
Always
on
has to
Seaford.
be the fish swimming against the current.
Right.
Always. I have to prove a point. I'm going to make it.
Yep. So, Kane, do we have some hot topics today?
Hot and steamy. What's
Remy's
up?
feisty tonight.
Right. Well, let's heat it up, Mr. Kane, because
I got you. So I got some stuff here tonight, and we're gonna have kind of like a little bit of a game night tonight. If you watch the ads, if you pay attention, you follow us on social media. So we're bringing it back a little bit. I don't know if we can call it retro or old school since we've only been at this for about 3-4 months.
Taking it old school.
So, but we're going back to our roots, all the way back to October.
Oh,
So I got some awkward kinks, strange kinks, and unique kinks. And we're going to do that fun thing where we try to guess, I make you guys guess what they are. So the first one on the docket tonight should be a, low-hanging fruit, claustrophilia.
Okay.
So
That's somebody. Oh, can I take this one?
Yeah, go ahead. Take that
Let me
one.
put on my intellectual glasses.
You better get it right too, because
since you all about the build.
I said it was low-hanging
better
fruit.
get it
I
right.
mean,
So it's somebody who likes to be locked in small spaces.
boom.
Boom. Oh!
Claustrophobia is the fear of tight spaces. Claustrophilia is sexual arousal from tight spaces.
Nice.
All right, so
I
now we're going to get into
tight
some.
spaces.
Now we're going to get to some more unique ones.
Imagination.
Mesophilia
Mesophilia.
or mysophilia.
Ooh.
That sounds like mesothelioma. That comes on.
If you've been a victim of mesothelioma,
Right.
please don't hesitate to call.
If you
You
worked
could
for
be
the government in
entitled to a
between
supplement
1776 to 2020 and you have been diagnosed with mysophilia,
Yeah.
please contact the toll-free number.
All right, so mesophilia.
It's not mesothelioma. It's
Mysophilia.
Mysophilia. The attraction to mice. I don't know.
No.
Turned off by rodents.
Remy over there Googling shit.
I know, right? He cheating.
Trying to look icy.
I'm
He just
not-
wants to win tonight because it's game night. So I see that we
I
see
don't
the
get no points for
reflection.
this. What are you talking about?
He's like, I ain't playing yet.
No,
My name's
no.
on
We
the
see the
board.
reflection of the computer in your glasses trying to be smart. We see you.
It's actually the outline.
Oh,
Mr.
okay.
Mesothelioma.
He's
Oh,
like,
oh,
I'm prepared.
Just saying.
Mr.
Just
Mesothelioma.
saying. You know.
Oh, does everyone give? Do we got a tap, tap, tap from all
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Did you?
Tap, tap,
Oh,
tap,
so you
out.
didn't even guess. Give us a guess. Give us a
Yeah.
guess. Come on, give us something random.
Arousal to mice and creatures crawling on you.
No.
Okay.
Okay, wait. Remy hasn't gone. Come on, Remy. Put one out for the. We both failed it, so you got a chance here.
Oh wait. What did you say?
Me? I
Yeah.
said something about mice because he said mysophilia.
All right. So and what was the word exactly again?
Mysophilia. MYSOPHILIA.
Myso. Does it has something to do with the skin?
Yes.
And above the skin, loving something above the skin. I'm not sure.
He broke that down like a Jeopardy response.
You got about like 66% of that correct. It is actually
all the way
an
around.
arousal to rotting flesh.
Oh,
I know it had to do with the skin though. Ooh,
Yes.
rotting flesh.
rotting flesh. I've never.
I don't know if that'd be one of my favorites, but okay.
Here's a question, Remy. In all your experience, have you ever ran into somebody that has that fetish?
I have. I gave myself gangrene.
I was just about to say something.
No.
Something like that with the feet. Like I've seen some people with some messed up feet. I mean, you can count that as rotting flesh, I guess.
Right, but have you met anybody that has
That is a fetish?
do that?
No, not in my personal life.
Yeah, I've never met anyone, so like without the outside experience, there's no way I would have known that.
Right. I've known people with outside jobs and outside experience, and even though that's their job and they kind of like doing that there's no kind of
Right.
Maybe they're morticians.
Yeah.
And-
Or
Is
butchers.
there more behind this? Like
Or
what?
butchers.
Or like
No, it's just a sexual attraction to rotting flesh. It did say that it's more prevalent in like medical communities, because that's where you're going to run across it more often.
okay.
So like a
Farms,
mortician or
farms,
surgeon.
farmland, possibly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. That's a good one.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, so this one for Remy, should be low-hanging fruit. So, hematolagnia or hematolagnia.
Okay. You want me to answer it? You said
I think you'll be able to get it. I mean, the root
I
word.
could get it.
The
I
root
can get
word
it.
is, it's
Yeah,
there,
I'm a
so-
root word person. I like to
I
break
got
words
you.
down. All right, so
I mean, he ain't the only
basically,
one that's smart. Let's not just single him out like
nah,
he's
let's
feature
hand it
pet.
off.
You're
Hand it off
absolutely right,
first.
Sasha. What you got?
I
Say
don't
the word
know,
again.
like, give me something so I look smart too.
So I'm going to say it real slow. And if you've heard of something similar to it before, you'll get it right on the bat. Hemotolagnia.
Someone who likes either wounds or cuts or likes blood, and that turns them on.
She got it.
Yeah, good job.
So hematobin, hemolagnia, it's a fetish for drinking blood and bleeding.
Ooh,
Mhm. AKA vampire.
vampire.
Yep.
Called
Vampire
vampire
fetishes.
That's how I know it. I didn't know the scientific name.
I know what it is though.
You know
Don't
what it
let
is?
my puffs
I've
fool
had
you guys,
experience with
okay?
a vampire before,
Don't sleep on the puffs because that's where all the brain power is. The
Right,
bigger the hair, the closer to the universe.
And
So
I
don't
I put mine away
Don't
today,
sleep.
so it's not working.
see. So I had to pick up, calm day out.
All right. So this one's a little bit longer. I actually had to rehearse this a little bit. And I don't know if anybody's going to get it.
Right.
Except
You had
for
to
the
rehearse it.
Viking.
A what?
Wait, what?
Except for the Viking.
Oh.
Excuse me, say what?
So let me get my tongue wrapped around this real fast. Ursical
One more time.
Ursical.
Somebody laughed. One more time.
Excuse me, say what?
Ursursa grammatophilia.
Okay, do we-
Galmatophilia.
Ursursa.
Ursusa galmatophilia.
That sounds like a Harry Potter, like okay, that sounds like a
My
potion.
bookcase is floating, but that's besides the point.
Something Wingardium Leviosa. I felt like something was about to
Right?
That is
That's exactly what it
that's a,
sounded like.
yeah, that's a long word. How many letters is in that word?
We're looking at 6,
So many.
14,
Yep.
16 words, 16
Yep,
letters.
I know it.
What if that was someone's name?
Say it again.
Ursusa grammatophilia.
Ursusa galmatophilia.
Ursusa.
Okay.
Gallicophilia. Cursusa. Cursusa grammaticophilia.
There's a couple astronomers watching right now that are just like, what the fuck?
Well, I know
Well,
it has something to do with planets or something, or you're. I
Nope.
don't know.
Something about the galaxy or the universe?
Ulysses? I don't know.
Nope. There's.
Space?
If I told you why astronomers are freaking out, it would give it away.
Okay.
Well, you even saying that? Well, no, we're lost. So never mind.
Yeah, I know.
So
We
do they
can all
like?
sit here puzzled.
So do they like
Right.
using telescopes to look at people and stuff?
Ursa
PP
major, Ursa minor, Ursa.
Ursa.
Yeah.
You've stumped us all. Go ahead, Kay.
Versa.
Viking doesn't know what an Ursa is?
Ursa. Is it like an attraction or stimulation from like lack of gravity?
No. You guys are
No.
good. It's on Earth. It's on Earth. I was hoping that the root word Ursa was going to trigger something. Ursa is a bear.
Hmm.
So ursogomatophilia is a sexual attraction to teddy bears.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
And so with everybody like just wrapping around, the root words, like
I mean, that's what most
hemophilia and all
girls.
that other stuff.
I've
you
never
guys,
heard of that root word, and I'm good at root.
That's what most girls see in me. You know what I'm saying?
You had to laugh at yourself. You couldn't even get it out of your mouth.
oh. All right, and the last one, just to stay in line with the topic tonight, trichophilia.
Try.
Somebody who loves to sleep. I don't know.
No.
Or
Choke.
having sex with people as they're sleeping. I don't know.
No, that's asphyxiation. Trichophilia.
Asphyxiation is choking.
No, that's why I had to check myself.
Wait, you said
What's the word?
trichophilia?
Trichophilia, or it could be pronounced trichophilia.
Tryptophilia.
Oh, tryptophilia.
Not trichophilia.
Trichophilia.
Trichopphila.
I hate you right now.
My brain feels like I've heard it before, so I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't.
I've heard of it.
2 people would be approached for this. 1 person is well on their way, and the other one, no, not so much.
Tryptophilia. No. And arousal to dead people.
How would 2 of us no.
I don't know. I don't know.
And one of us is close.
I go into things with an open mind.
I don't know. Does it have to do with 3 people, like a threesome or something like that?
No. It's a little weird because I don't necessarily know where the root for this came from, but it's actually a sexual attraction to long hair.
Where the root.
Well, that works for our live because we're doing hair pulling and scratching.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I found
keep
that
it
one.
on topic.
But you see how he threw that in there though, right?
Right.
He's like, let's see if they catch it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
The root.
Oh my, it was okay. Now that my brain is officially fried, are your hot topics done?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I did
wow.
that on purpose. We're gonna have a fun live now that everybody's on Overcook.
Now that we're all just burnt and ready to go home.
Right. He wanted to wake us up with some brain workouts.
Right.
Dang.
And this concludes your hot topics for the evening. If you enjoyed
Mic
that,
drop.
like and subscribe.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be here all
We're
week.
done. Like, he hit the woe on us.
Here next week. Same great channel, same great time. So, as y'all can see, it's actually backwards because it's on a camera, but I can't write backwards. So it says, Remy, Kate, and Sasha. Just pretend like you know what it says. All right.
Okay.
It's coming in clear on our side.
Yeah, we can actually see it.
We do.
Okay, well, like on my thing, it's backwards. So I'm just like, that's not good. Okay, so anyways,
It's not backwards for us.
we've got lots of questions tonight, or I do, for y'all. So we're gonna play this a little different tonight. Normally we ask each other questions, we answer, and we discuss. So I decided to do this one a little bit different because this is our filler live for our big project coming up. So I'm gonna ask a bunch of questions. I'm gonna pick somebody to answer the question. You have 1 minute. I will be timing.
I ain't going for no minute.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's fine. Let me tell you all the rules.
How often have you said that?
So, right. If you go for a full minute, Remy, you get a point.
If you can make it.
If you make it for a full minute, speaking of what I asked you.
Who breathed hard? Stop it. Ew.
If you can give me factual information and not just a story, and they're actual facts that fit the question, you'll get a point for each fact. The person with the most points at the end of the game wins. The person with the least amount of points at the end loses. And the loser will have to say, "You're the daddy," or the mommy, or, you know. So don't lose if you don't want to say it. Don't lose. Y'all ready to play? Ready?
So the one who came with Ursula is probably going to take this.
Oh, we will see. We will see.
Who said take it? Someone said we're going to take
First question. You ready?
Oh, shit.
All right.
Don't get nervous now that you done made that statement.
All right.
Right.
You better bring it.
This is why I don't bet.
You're like, you're supposed to be like this now. You'd be like,
If I bet you the sun would come up tomorrow, it'd be the end of the world tonight.
Or you gotta say what you
That's how bad I am at bets. If I bet you that the sun would rise, we'd all die.
Okay, remind me never to take you to Vegas.
We're not going to a scary movie with you. We're not.
I got a lottery ticket and won a warrant. That's how bad my luck is.
Jeez.
So if we ever go camping, we're leaving you at home. So nobody comes to kill us, no bears, no nothing.
Right.
Don't worry, I set up traps and all that.
Well, we're definitely not taking you.
As long as they take less than a minute.
To the spa.
Ding, ding, ding. Y'all ready to
All
start?
right, don't take us to.
Let's
Don't
go.
take us. Me and Kane.
Imagination.
Imagination. Can we start this game?
We're waiting on you.
We're going to start the game.
Okay. Is there a right or wrong way to pull hair? And what should you do first before pulling hair? So, Miss Sasha, you're dancing. I'm giving it to you. Ready?
I did my homework.
Okay, ready?
I go here.
You ready? And
Yes.
I'll say imagination to stop you. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Go.
So yes, there is a right and a wrong way to pull hair. You typically want to grab more of the hair towards the root, and gently pull outwards. Right ways of hair pulling. Speaking about levels that you like and different boundaries and kind of ways you like it versus ways you don't like it. You kind of want to start at the nape of the neck and kind of massage just the fingers of the scalp to get some stimulation going in there, and then kind of pull with nice full, yeah, like that. And then
and that.
Wait, I got sidetracked. Wait. What was the question
5,
again?
4, 3.
Okay,
It wasn't a full minute.
Huh?
It wasn't a full minute. It wasn't a full minute.
That wasn't a full minute.
He's like the kids in the classroom trying to.
It becomes hard, like we have to speak for a full minute.
Nah, it's when you're on the spot. If
Yeah,
this was just a regular question, we was
Right,
going around,
it'd
it'd
be
be like,
fine.
oh yeah, da 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 da. But now that you put something to it, you know, man, come on, you know we don't like tests.
Hey, I was
All right,
like,
so Sasha got a solid 3 points. You didn't get that fourth one though, because you didn't go for a full minute. You were like,
that's fine. I
lost
got
that
hot.
point.
I got sidetracked.
But
No,
you gave
it
a
was
lot of
really-
good facts. You gave 3 really good facts.
Thank
So,
you.
Let's talk about this, guys. Is there a right and wrong way to pull hair? Let's start with that. And what should you do first before pulling hair? Does anybody want to add to that?
You actually talk to your partner first about what it is that they want you to do, what they like. If they because the top is a little bit more sensitive than the back side of your head, and because your roots are a lot stronger in the back, so they want you to consent, to, hey, do you want this to happen, do you want that to happen, type of thing. So yeah, get consent first, talk about it.
Exactly. Consent was what I was looking for. Exactly. Consent. Since you've let your hair down, Kane,
Yeah.
would you like to tell us a story? Would you like to add
So
to this?
this is the end of the hair. Okay. The biggest amateur mistakes of pulling hair is to grab the end of the hair and pull. You're gonna pull a shit ton of hair out. It's gonna hurt like hell. It's not gonna be sexy, and you're gonna hear the safe
Not
word.
gonna feel good at all.
So, in my experience, the way I like to pull hair is palm of the hand, up the back of the neck, and then you kind of get a grip towards the top of the scalp. Let me see if I can get my fingers through the top of the scalp, and you're going to grab a soft grip, firm enough to have a handful, light enough that it can slide
And I'm
through.
going to imagination you on a second because you're giving way too much info.
Right.
And then you're just going to give it a light tug. You definitely don't want to pull. You don't want to hurt somebody. You don't want to break a neck.
Yeah, exactly. That was perfect.
Nah, see the way that I do it, right? You know what I'm saying? You go, all right, so when you come from the back of the neck, so you got to really like spread your fingers and slide them across, like almost like you're making a massage. And I know, but see, you missed the part where you slide them on the head. Just
He
know
wants
what
to
I'm
slide.
saying?
He wants to slide.
Yeah,
Like you gotta
I got
you
told
need
to shut the fuck
you
up.
need that
So
slide right up against the head,
I know, right?
Anyway.
Okay. So the only other thing that was missed on this was the very same thing that we talk about all the dang time, which is to, we did talk about, you discuss it with your partner and figure out how hard, how soft they like it. Because there are some people that, even though this is the place to go for, they do like it here. But then that becomes discussion. That becomes how hard, how soft, things like that. And to always have a safe word. Because like if you are changing a position that because this area is more sensitive, so you need to
right
have a
here.
safe word. Yeah,
These spots right here, a little
Yep.
bit more sensitive.
a little bit more
Way
sensitive.
Can I add one more
Oh,
thing
from
to
the
the hair
base.
pulling?
yeah, it doesn't come from a
Sometimes
minute though.
to go with hair pulling, there's hair fetishes too. And if that is something that you're into,
Wait,
Imagination.
Imagination,
Imagination.
all that good
Yeah.
stuff.
Imagination. All right.
okay.
All right. This one's gonna be kind of hard. Okay, let me set up my thing. Okay. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Hair bondage. What is it? Remy, go. Ready? 1, 2.
Why I get the difficult one?
Go. Time started.
Hair bondage. I've never heard of it.
Negative
Hair
one.
bondage. I got nothing for you.
Make up a
Nothing at
story. You
all.
better give us something for a minute. You have 46 seconds. Come on.
All right, so hair bondage, I guess. Oh, so you know how the people in the circus like to be pulled, hung upside down by their hair. There are ways that you go about doing that. Just like we said, when you grip the back of the hair, you have to make sure that you pull from the rooter to the tutor and get a good grip on that joint. So when they dangling in the middle of the air by their hair, it doesn't rip their scalp out. So
13.
this is
12,
just a
11.
nice little PSA from Remy DeBow about hair bondage. Boom.
3.
And then some. You follow that up with something else.
You know what? I'll give you a point for trying.
One. Just one.
I give you a point because you didn't know what it was. And I didn't expect anybody to know what that one was.
But
Hair
good story.
Does anybody want to try and take a stab at it?
Maybe denying one of hair or access to hair or having it out. Like sometimes there's like a fitted kind of skull cap situation in like BDSM, I believe, or bondage. So maybe like making someone submissive by like covering their hair.
That's actually headed in kind of sort of the right direction.
They pull it out through the little holes.
I've only dealt with hair bondage and braiding a lock braid with some kind of leash or like handle kind of thing.
There it is.
Like
I mean, I've
Okay.
seen that,
braiding a
but
steel ring.
I never considered that hair bondage.
No.
I wouldn't have.
Actually, it's a whole thing. So hair bondage is
Wow.
actually a whole thing.
Hmm.
You can braid your hair up like this. This is why I have my hair braided today, by the way. You can braid your hair up like this, and then you wrap rope around the base, and then that can be used as a lead to make someone sit, stand, come this way, bend down, you know? And then there's a whole nother part of hair bondage where you would actually braid the ribbon or the rope into the hair. There's a whole fetish around that being tied up and braided into your hair. And then you use it as a lead and can pull them around.
Oh,
See,
that
but
would
that's
be a
li-
nice
but
signal
that's a
too
little
to
bit
look
more.
for.
See, only reason why I would disagree with that is because you could kind of snap your neck really hard with that, whereas leading them around like this is a little bit safer for them.
Well,
Yeah,
you're not
I
dragging
personally
them.
wouldn't. I personally
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
mess
do
with a
it
hair lead.
personally,
Yeah. Well, I've
unless
done
it
it
was
before.
requested.
Yeah, I've done it before. So I've always done it with it wrapped around this piece here. And it makes it, then you wrap your hand around the rope or the ribbon or whatever it is. And it's just a light lead. You're not yanking someone. It's literally just like a very light lead. And
I want to
kind of
yank
like
the hell out of
dancing.
somebody.
Like if you're dancing with somebody, you give them a light lead, you know, where
Right.
you're going.
Like in
Mhm.
tandem
Nope.
almost. Like in syncopation,
Come
you're
here.
kind of in
You
lead
would.
me for them.
Okay.
Oh hell.
Would you like another
What did
chance?
I miss? I missed something. Something went over
Yeah,
my
that
puff.
was that was
Yeah, no. I just wanted to see
right
if you
or
knew it.
wrong
I honestly just wanted to
versus
see if you knew
hair
it.
bondage.
All right, so I'll throw you this next one, all right? All right.
No, go ahead, go ahead. It's cool.
No, we got 8
It's
questions to
cool.
get through, so we're gonna throw it at
Oh,
you.
all right.
Ready? All right. This is real simple. You can go
Mhm.
for a minute for this one, okay?
Okay.
Why would you pull hair? Ready? And go.
This goes back into what I was saying before. It can go for, I guess, sensory play. It's good for that because when you actually grab on people's heads, the back of their heads, that's a very sensitive spot for them. And also, uh, you can use it for direction to direct your sub and everything into the place that you want them to go, location wise or movement wise, or kneel them down in front of you. Um, it's also uh, a natural thing. It's something that's naturally done, like a lot of times during sex and or foreplay. Uh, it gives you that care, that comfort. Um, it makes you feel like soothing, as far
There you go.
as
You're good.
the
Yep, you're
as
good. If you want to end it, you can.
from an anthropological perspective.
Okay. So I'll give you that one. So, why would we pull hair? What does anybody want to add to that? He had a lot of good information in that, but there are some key things that are missing. Does anybody want to add to it?
It's one of the simpler things to kind of get into. I mean, you don't need a whole lot of tools. You don't need a whole lot of utensils. You don't need, specialty items to do it. You do need a basic and generic understanding of how to pull hair. But I mean, that's a YouTube video like us away from understanding how to do it right. And it's something that you can incorporate into a bedroom. It's not always considered kinky or BDSM related. I mean, a lot of the vanilla enjoy some light hair pulling.
Right. Sasha, you got something to add to that?
Yeah, it's another way to just trying something new with your partner. It's a way to kind of experiment with like letting some of your boundaries down with your partner, something new to spice up your situation. Tap into your animalistic side without even trying to label it for the vanilla, without feeling too scary with trying something new in your kinky side without scaring off your partner.
Yeah.
And also, it's good for subs and doms.
That's what I was
Could be. It's good
Right.
for anybody and everybody.
Not
Anybody
just
can
for the
feel
top
it
or
and
the
love it.
bottom.
right.
Top or bottom can take
The
part.
top and bottom thing. It stimulates the nerve endings at the back of the hair and scalp.
Mhm.
Like we've got a ton of nerve endings. That's why
Mhm.
when someone gives you a massage on your scalp, that mess feels amazing.
You feel it tingling all the way down your spine, all the way
Right.
down your arms.
So
Mhm.
it's a great tool for foreplay. It's a great tool for revving up the engine. It's also just a great tool for like if your partner's not really in the mood. That's a great way to get them into the mood very quickly.
A
This is
segue into
true.
nonverbal communication.
This is true. It can work.
Exactly.
All right.
All right.
That's sneaky. Hold up. Now that I
Sneaky
think
way
about
of getting
that,
something going without saying nothing.
He's like,
I feel,
I
man-
do nothing.
I feel manipulated right now. You know what I mean? Just thinking about some stuff.
How I gotta be manipulated?
I feel a certain kind of way about this.
Like there.
It's-
Come here, babe. It's
oh,
okay. We ain't got
it's
nothing
okay.
tonight. It's all right.
That
All
bad.
right. We
You
ready
start
for
purring like a cat.
you see who doesn't have points on the board yet, right?
I ain't gone yet.
Your way next, right?
He
Yeah.
said, I ain't even gone yet. You about to add 8 there right now. He said.
So I'm gonna jump off of the hair pulling and come back to it. But I got a question for you. So we're gonna go to scratching. Oh yeah.
Come on, what does our audience say about that one?
Okay, so this is a simple one. I'm gonna give you a simple one like I gave them. What kind of play is scratching? Ready? And go. 1 minute on the clock.
All right. So scratching definitely falls under some sensory play. It's it has to do with a lot with sensations. It's definitely a lot of feeling. You're stimulating nerve endings throughout the skin, throughout the body. Scratching can be done anywhere, preferably on the meatier parts of the body. And there's actually multiple ways of scratching. A lot of people, when they think of scratching, it's just the claw and grr. There's actually a method of scratching in order to because a lot of the stimulation that comes from scratching comes from the idea of leaving a mark. The best way to leave a mark isn't to drag the fingers over the skin, but instead to curl the fingers in, and that lends support and strength to the nail in order to dig deeper into the epidermal layer of the skin and create raises, scratches, redness, marks, bumps, cuts, scrapes, and eventually some bleeding. A lot of people get into it because they like the idea of having bleeding. I know a lot about this because that was something that I always wanted. I called it the crazy eights on the shoulder blades to the hips.
That's it. Because he went for a full minute. Dang, okay, Kane. Y'all better catch up.
Huh.
Better catch up. We annihilated
in.
that.
How many points you gave him? I thought the
5, 6. He was
I
given.
thought the max was 4.
No, you get a point for every
I
fact.
told you he was going up to like 8. Wow.
Every box you check, you
I
get
was
it.
trying to get to 8.
Wait, did he say epidermis?
Epidermis. I was like,
We gonna put a check mark for that.
He
I
said
know,
nothing
right? I was
but
like,
straight
I don't know that.
facts. I spit mad facts.
Right, bad facts.
Mhm.
So do we want to
I
add?
tried.
Dylan.
Kane just kind of fucking annihilated this. But does anybody want? Right, mic drop.
I told you I wasn't calling anybody daddy.
Does anybody want to add to what kind of play is scratching?
I think that's about it. I think we're out of time there. Kane just totally finished the whole game. So yeah, thanks. Sheesh. Sheesh.
Well,
It can also be sadistic play as well.
Right.
It's not always just sensory. It could be sadism.
Yep.
Yeah. It's a fine line between kink and self-harm.
Yeah. So
That was a fast minute, man. Damn.
That was one of the things I was
Quit bragging.
Was
humble
that,
brag.
Either way, it's not just necessarily sensory play. It can also be, sadist. So another thing that no one touched on is
wait.
Oh, go ahead.
Are you gonna fair play? You got primal play.
Oh no. I was just gonna if you want to add all that, go ahead.
Oh. Nah, we could talk about. We still got more questions, right?
So the only thing that I was going to add to this sensory thing is there's something called AMSR. Does anyone know what that stands for?
Is that like a question for points?
No, it's just we're just discussing, so it's not points.
Oh,
That's the
Are you like tapping and the sensation that it gives you?
Right, but what's it stand for? Does anybody know?
I always thought it was like auditory, but it's
Audiosensory.
autonomous stimulation medial response. No,
Midi.
autonomous something medial response. Autonomous damn it. Sensation?
Audio sensory.
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 Audio sensory.
Yeah. Autonomous sensory median
Autonomous.
response. And so it's best described as like a tickle in your brain. And it's brought on by like rhythmic sound, whispering, visual stimulation can do that too. The repetitiveness of scratching, that kind of thing. And our video had a lot of AMSR in it. So like if you watch the last video, you heard a
ASMR.
lot of the nails across the cup and the nails on the walls and things like that. So and it does something to you. It starts as a tingle in the back of your neck and it travels to, I've never personally,
It creates a sensory response from you.
yeah.
Basically. Like
It works for me.
sometimes just talking about scratching and things of that nature, you're like, you know what I mean?
So that's kind of it too. So see, like I've looked it up, I've done my research on it, but like I don't think that I can relate it to anything personal that I've ever felt just by like watching something or hearing something and then feeling something.
So have you audibly heard something or thought of the feeling of something? Like for me, it's like the feeling of when you pull cotton apart, that physically makes me shiver because I can't stand that feeling, or the sound of that high pitched supersonic noise when something drags across like nails or the table. That makes your skin crawl. That's you being sensory or being triggered sensorily.
Okay. So, but this ASMR is more like good feelings from watching visual or hearing something stimulates that.
It's kind of natural.
Right.
It's kind of a natural response. But that response that she had is also a natural response as well. But that comes from the human condition. And our body is conditioned for certain aspects to react a certain way to certain sounds.
Right, because like I have issues with
maybe you watch too many scary movies and you correlate that screeching sound to scary movies back in the days. So now that you correlate those two sounds, it becomes,
almost triggered.
It's all for me. I used to experience this like sensation when I was younger, and I lost it like as soon as I turned like 13, 14 years old.
That sounds like something else.
What it was is like there were certain things that like stimulated my mind and became like entrancing. They were almost hypnotic, and it's something that you could just visually see, and it would it would start in like the base of my neck, like right at the base of my skull, and it would just feel like a tingle or a tickle, and then it would start to almost vibrate, and then it would spread. It would start feeling like I had energy or like just a vibration that starts going down my spine in waves, and then it would start creeping across my shoulders. And the problem is that when I was like entranced in whatever I was looking at, it started to become, it's like you're conscious throughout it. It's not like this ethereal euphoric feeling. It's just like a tingle, almost like a chill or a shudder, but not very, you're not cold, you don't get goosebumps from it.
Almost like a numbness,
or like you're falling
asleep. Wait, Sasha, let him talk it through. Go ahead, continue.
No, it was just like a weird skin tingle, and I never knew what it was. I never knew how to explain it. I couldn't talk to a doctor about it or anything like that. And then when ASMR started gaining popularity, fuck you, Remy. And it started to, as ASMR started getting popularity and I started reading about it, it was like, oh, that's what that was? I never knew there was a name for it. Like, damn. And that's what it was. It was kind of cool to figure out, that's something that happened that I didn't know how to explain. And then you're reading an article about it and it's just like, that shit sounds familiar.
So here's a real quick question. Okay, so we know that Kane has felt it.
Sorry.
We know that Kane has felt it. Have you guys experienced that before? Because like for me, when I was reading through ASMR and all of that, like I just couldn't relate it to anything. I was just like, I don't know that I've
All
ever
right.
felt that.
You've had goosebumps before?
Yeah, but
Believe
that's like
you've
with
had it.
somebody singing. Like if somebody has a good voice, then I get good.
I've had that. All right. So, you know, back in the days, I used to blow some stuff,
Used to blow stuff. That's
You
what
left
that
yourself
sounded
wide
like.
open for that one.
yeah, I did
You left yourself
smoke.
wide
You know what I'm saying? I used to smoke. All right,
open.
and
Smoke what? Poles?
You want to quit?
Oh no, he
Imagination.
started it.
oh, see, I took it easy on you. All right,
Always
there
taking
was
it
so
easy.
much that
You've
you
taken
lined up
easy
for
so
me.
much there isn't an extra level. Quit acting like you can pick it up a
There
notch.
is so.
Please do.
I was about to ask you how'd you grow up?
I grew up very well, thank you.
No,
Especially with these
what?
vibrations on the back of my
And-
neck, and
He's an
It felt
alien. It's
great. It was
okay. That's all he
amazing.
said is I'm an alien.
Your
All
concern
you guys
is
See,
like-
I'm
know.
still trying not to hit that subject
Go for
without
it.
hitting that subject.
Go for it. You think you can tag a nerve?
You know?
Find one.
All right, boys. Imagination.
Imagination.
Jesus. Can't wait. Get back to the
You
show.
too. One y'all go over there. Somebody else go over
I know I'm
there.
gonna
My
separate
child.
you
And
your
when the
own-
women go off and we just are sitting here,
Fighting.
Remember
About
that.
to rip each other's faces off.
we'll remember
Oh
it.
no, we would never do that.
So Roy was saying that AMSR helps people sleep, and that's something
Wait, helps people what?
comments. So, I mean,
Wait, say that one more time.
That AMSR helps people sleep. It's something to
Hmm.
listen to help people sleep. So I'm just a little confused on it, but
Okay. We might have to do some. We might have to do some more digging, some more research into that.
what were you
So
gonna say?
my experience with ASMR, I used to be very very
Used to?
skeptical about it. I'm like, what's the difference between ASMR and hypnotation or being hypnotized? Like, what is it going to do, or what chemical is it releasing in your brain to help you feel any different type of way with these sounds? It's just soothing sounds, and it's more of a factor of feeling soothed by that repetitive, it's almost like soothing noises, like the hand brushing against the microphone, that muffled kind of noise, almost like white noise, but white noise with a distinct name. So hearing your fingers tapping against glass, you know what glass sounds like, so it's triggering you have happy thoughts with glass. Seeing or hearing something get sliced, you've heard it 100 times, so what does that do for your brain? Hearing the sound of ice hit the glass, or the sound of ice or
See,
sand being muddled, all
just
those
you
things.
saying-
Yeah, okay.
Just you saying the ice hit the glass, I just imagine them commercials with.
So that's probably why they do
Yeah.
it. That's
So
probably
yeah, no,
Those
no,
things-
most definitely.
yeah.
Opening a soda, sizzling, all these things are very connected, or triggers almost. Sizzling, barbecue, food cooking, different memories, ice. These are all relatable things and sounds that take you somewhere. So
Okay.
that was like my own personal experience. They just give you warm, fuzzy feelings because they're relatable sounds and very soothing sounds.
Because you could correlate them to when you were younger.
Anything
going on during
positive,
those
like when
times.
you smell a chapstick or a certain scent, it reminds you of a person, a place, or a thing. It always kind of
that was-
That's true.
So that would be
like
like
Ratatouille, you
AMSR?
kind of just tunnel vision somewhere.
Okay. Well, yeah, okay. I guess I could understand that one. Like, I just have never experienced like what they were explaining, which is like the tingle that starts here and it moves down your back and into your shoulders and stuff. And I was like, I don't know that I've ever
Have you-
experienced that.
So have you ever heard something, or somebody says something, or you're thinking something and they say it, and it kind of gives you that, like, how did you even know that? It
Yeah.
almost gives you, I would say, a reminiscent feeling of like, okay, you see a sweater and it triggers a memory. Don't you kind of get a shiver, or kind of like,
Kind of. I mean, and see, like, I'm sorry, I got a fly in here. Not like,
well, that's
no, there's a fly.
right. You're like, heck,
Imagination.
No, I don't do feelings like that.
Imagination.
No, imagination.
Whatever, that was like that
Really?
Chris Tucker Fifth Element, like bzzz,
Right.
you're done. Bzzz.
Get a fucking fly.
I'm sorry, I was not trying to be rude, not at all.
You're like a gnat at a
Whoa.
barbecue. Just bucket the fuck.
Right. All right, let's move forward on this.
Okay.
We revisit AMSR. I think this could be a whole lot.
ASMR.
Yeah, sorry. Whatever. Sorry, but this, I say it right. It's
Whatever.
It's whatever at this
You
point.
know what I mean?
You killed us with the hot topics. Okay, the brain's dead.
Right. She's all, you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. I can't do it
Right,
anymore.
exactly. Yeah, but we'll revisit it and maybe do a whole video on it because
Maybe catch it on Patreon.
Yeah.
and maybe I can learn something from it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always down to learn something. So moving back to the game.
We were playing a game?
Yeah, I know, right?
What happened?
So Kane's on the top of the leaderboard right now, but we have 1, 2. I got 3 more questions. Okay?
Redemption round.
Redemption round. So it's gonna be even kiltered, but let's throw it to Sasha because she's got the least amount right now. Okay. So
Pulling up through here.
this is your question, and let me get my
Okay.
timer back up. All right. This is your question. Is there a difference in pulling on our kind of hair, textured hair? Is there a different way to be pulling? Should you take precautions? Okay, ready?
Coach. Put
This
me
is
in,
a
coach.
rigged ass game, man.
You ready?
Put me in, coach.
I could have thrown it at one of y'all. I didn't think you guys would get that one. All right, ready?
Just for
And
shits and gigs, can one of us take a minute at that?
yeah, I'll let you both take it afterwards. After
my minute,
Sasha.
yes.
Okay, ready? Ready?
Yes.
And let's do it that way. Let's see who can come up with the most points in this. Ready? And go.
So there is definitely a way you want to approach the situation. You of course want to ask if that's something that's a kink of yours or hers, either or whoever's, one person, the person with texture hair, you kind of want to ask how they like it pulled. It may sound rude or feel rude to ask, but you want to ask, do you have a hair piece in? Is there a certain way you would like me to pull your hair? You kind of want to lead with that. Is there a certain way you would like me to do that? Can we do that?
Right. Yep, there we
Do
go.
you mind if we do that? And you want to make sure when you are asking these questions, you're coming off very, sympathetic. Do you like it from a dom perspective? Do you like it from a submissive perspective? I guess.
4, 3, 2, 1.
That's all I got.
You know what? I'm not. Do we give her that? Did she do a full minute?
I mean, she came with a lot of quality information.
Yeah, she came with a lot of information. I liked it. So I
tried.
point for that.
Okay.
All right, Remy, you want to take this one? See if
I
you
would have made it a separate
I
point
got a
system.
lot
though.
of info for this one. So
All right.
she hit some key points, but
She
there's stuff
did.
missing.
She did.
Okay.
So,
Ready?
I hit it.
Wait. Let
They
me
got-
start the timer. Wait. Let me start the timer. You're gonna
No.
go to.
Oh wait,
Yeah,
am I getting
alright,
points for this?
Yes.
Oh
Ready?
shoot, I wasn't ready.
All right, I'm ready. Okay.
All right.
And go.
Okay. Ethnic hair. First off, you got wigs, you got sew-ins, you got black hair that you don't touch black women hair, you know what I'm saying? So
That's
first off, right?
That's a myth. That's a lie.
Well,
You
we're-
definitely got to ask permission.
Yeah.
Actually, you could fill it out. You want to fill it out first. Put it right next to them roots first, and then if they go like that, they give you like that little nah, don't do it. Don't even reach for it, because maybe they don't want you to know they got tracks. You know what I'm saying? So then, if you actually do it, we have kinky hair. You're not just running your fingers through ours. You know what I mean? So you trying to slowly creep that joint up into the back of the skull, the base of the skull, and all the way up to you about, I say right there to the crown.
There you
You
go.
know what I mean? And you pull and you put your fingers and dig in. That's it.
How do you get a full minute?
Was that a minute?
Yeah.
I didn't feel like a minute.
Yep. I
It
have
really
the
did.
timer going. Okay, ready,
I
Kate?
need to talk faster.
Yeah. You could have had a lot more points on that board. Ready? And is there a difference?
He got Spanish in him, man. You know what I'm
I know,
saying?
right? He's Latin.
It's
He
no
knows
fair.
how to
They
speak
talk
fast.
fast, okay?
Okay, ready? And
Got you.
go.
All right, so pulling on different types of hair. I've definitely pulled on all types of hair. There's a definitive difference in each and every single races and ethnicities hair. So when you start getting into ethnic hair, whether it be Latinx, if that's the proper terminology, all the way into Black women's hair or even Black dudes' hair, it's definitely a little bit coarser. It's definitely sometimes drier, and that's also prone to breakage. And the way that you pull it has to be different because you can actually, while you're trying to adjust your grip, you are creating more kinks, you are creating more knots, you are starting what can be later become a twist or a lock or a dread if you start pulling the hair however you would pull. I don't We're probably gonna get banned from YouTube if you start pulling a Caucasian lady's hair. There's a difference in doing it that way. You can pull straight out, as opposed to with ethnic hair, you kind of have to get a grip, and what's pulling is tightening your grip. Damn it.
Okay, now we can add to.
Wait, I just had to say this. I'm just glad you ain't called him Ebony.
Right.
Because then we would have known you was the categories dude for sure.
For real. All right, do we have anything that we want to add to this?
Yeah, I wasn't done.
For real, there's a lot more you can say about that.
Yeah, there's so much information that can come with that.
That could honestly be a full video, and I almost think it needs to be, or like a live, because there's a lot of information out there on how to pull hair on very straight, fine, hair. When it comes to
see that straight fine hair, you can wrap like
right. You can do all sorts of things with, but when it comes to hair like mine,
kinky
hair
hair
like Sasha's, hair like Remy, hair like Hayne, even because his stuff is thick.
It's curly too.
There is a
how you know? How you know his
hair
hair thick?
Oh, I posted pictures.
So
everybody doubts this. Everybody doubts this.
I know his type of hair. What are you talking about?
My hair froze. If I let it dry,
you know what I'm saying?
Wait, I want to hear this.
My joint is when I shower, when I get out of the shower, I have to, brush it back and put it in a ponytail, a bun, or something super quick. If I let it get dry, it turns into a lion's mane. It froze out. It goes past my shoulders. It stands up tall. Everybody doubted that until I was like, I don't like.
You're gonna have to show up to a live.
Right, you need to show up to a live
until you pull the lion.
No, we should do a fro.
The lion's mane out. I don't believe you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, because we can all do that.
Right, because the shrinkage is mad real. Trust and believe that joint.
All right.
Y'all done seen the fro.
I know what shrinkage is
don't pull your name out. Keep yours in braids when we do ours.
Right. So
I don't know. I think I can give Aurora a run for her money, and I ain't bragging. I ain't bullshitting. It gets big.
Well, that was
sounds like a challenge.
That was a direct.
That sounds like
that's what you said.
You know what? Yo, break out.
Okay, hold up. Imagination.
No, break out the
imagination. No, honestly, when it gets dry, it gets big, and I wasn't trying to challenge Aurora. I'm just saying it gets big. It gets huge. And
stop saying it. Oh my imagination.
Right,
it gets big. Stop bragging.
He's scared.
All right, you'll see.
Stop bragging.
Didn't want to challenge Aurora. Scary is.
All right, next live.
Ooh.
Are we taking that? Is it a throw off?
Next live.
A throw off.
You heard it here first.
We're going to get measurements.
It's going to be a throw off.
We're getting measurements.
You going to bring your fro out?
You have to decorate your fro with
Yo,
Christmas
I'm pulling.
I like
I'm going to pull it. I'm going to pull it all the way out. Watch.
I will.
Only decorated with Christmas ornaments then.
We about to.
I will, though. That's a great idea. I would totally do that. What happened?
My bad.
Remember, got excited.
Right. His screen said, I'm going to just imagination myself.
I pulled it out and it was just like, it went black.
Okay, so there is some information that I do want to put out there. I think you guys all did a really great job at giving good information on that, because there just isn't any information on that. I mean, you cannot just go up into some Body's hair that has hair like ethnic hair. You can't just go and just grab it willy-nilly and just yank it all around and like, yeah, that causes knots, it causes tangles, it causes problems, it causes rippage, it causes breakage. You ever hear girls talk about their edges? Watch where you're pulling ethnic women's hair. So, and in saying that, the reason why is because the actual strands of hair, the very, the one strand of hair is actually extremely fragile and extremely thin. In comparison, it actually looks really big, but that's because it spreads, it flows out, it fluffs, but the actual strand itself is not very strong. Like if you pull out just a single strand of our hair and go like this, it snaps immediately. Usually
piggyback on what you're saying. Even I know when I like my texture of hair is a lot different than yours.
Right.
But even when I do a nice mask on my hair and I straighten it, it's just as fine and silky and has just as much body as a Caucasian woman's hair. You could tell the thickness is different, but it's almost the same capacity.
Right. But the actual strands, it's been proven. I went to
The same.
the whole thing. But ours is actually, it's more fragile. The individual strands of hair are more fragile. So you have to be careful with that. And you need to make sure that when you are pulling on a person's hair that has coarse, kinky texture, that you are grabbing a full handful. Like you cannot get away with just like grabbing just a little bit and be like, hey girl, you like that? No, you'll rip it out. It'll hurt.
Or one of these.
Yeah. Like you can't grab the tips. You've got to make sure you're back here and you've got a full handful of hair.
Or even the ponytails per se. It's not full rein for you to grab her like a steer and start, or whoever like a steer and start.
Right.
Because their hair, you don't know what product they have. And like Aurora was touching on, our edges are sensitive. It's just a whole sensitive situation, and you want to come at it however the person who's allowing you to do such is allowing you to do such, and you're coming at it the way you're educated to do such, and within their limitations and what they would like as well.
Right. Exactly.
Can I add something to this
real
real quick?
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
All right. So I like the hair pulling and scratching. So when I was younger, my fro was like out to here. Like it probably wouldn't even make it on screen. and I used to get my hair braided all the time. So when they get their hair braided, you got the comb, and when they comb that joint up and create that part, that's like my favorite part. And then they take the grease and go and give you that nice little cool feeling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, or say they're about to wash your hair, they take, oh boy, your hair is, and they take that comb and just dig into that joint to get the little, man, that used to be, I was like, I used to fall asleep all the time. It was so soothing and relaxing. That's my favorite part.
That's perfect. And so, I mean, there's a lot of nerve endings in the scalp. I mean, it's a great thing to experiment with, explore with. Step out of your comfort zone. I know a lot of ethnic women don't like their hair touched, but let it down for a day and play around. It's fun.
Right. Let someone actually like massage your scalp, or, educate, even taking the time and patience to educate someone, even if you yourself like, it's kind of taboo for a Black woman to even allow someone to touch our hair, to play in our hair, let alone be like, don't pull my hair. If you educate yourself and see what you like, then you could be like, okay, I do want you to pull my hair. Or yes, this is a new install, so I need you to be careful.
Yeah,
exactly. Said a new
towards
install.
the crown. Let's not lift my baby hairs. They're laying because I don't want the glue to pull.
Right.
Like literally scalp.
Please ask. We don't want flips flying off, and so that's gonna get you in trouble.
No.
And
if you beard.
If you yank too hard, you can detach the scalp, because I've heard like popping, like if you pull too hard on the scalp and you're kind of yanking, I've heard like popping noises, like you can hear the skin.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've got a question for you, for the men, and this kind of piggybacks on it, and it's actually a real question. Do you know of anybody, or do you yourself enjoy facial hair being pulled or tugged on or anything like that?
I like it to be brushed. Like when I do let it grow out a little bit more, like I like my joint to be brushed. The joint feels so good.
You would want to be pet, wouldn't you?
What about you, Ken?
Short answer, yes.
Short answer, yes. He's like,
He said, I'm not gonna do nothing to myself I don't want to fix right now. So yeah.
All right. So we'll move on to the next question.
One question.
Go ahead.
Is body hair a thing?
Like body hair being pulled?
Yeah, or touched or pet or
Waxing.
So I've
Maybe there's
met people
waxing.
that like it pet. I've never met anybody that likes it pulled, but that's just my experience. I don't know if you guys have something different.
I mean, you got people that are addicted to waxing and stuff.
That's true. Yeah.
That rip, that shut.
Exactly.
That little bit of pain, you know what I mean? That sadistic side comes out.
Okay. So, I mean, that was a good question because it's not even something I thought about.
I was just curious.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know people that like to be pet. I don't think I've ever met, in my personal experience, anybody that likes it pulled or anything like, I don't know, but I'm sure it's out there. So, okay. So getting back to the game, we're going into scratching now. Okay. So the question is let's see, who's behind here? Sasha.
Me? Yeah. I had to lean in on me.
Sasha.
Not by much. Let's not.
Right. No, you're not that far behind. Yeah. You're really not. Actually, you and Remy are tied. Ooh.
Oh, yes, we are. Oh, yes.
Wait, no, he's got an extra point. You've got 3. So, okay, so we'll pass it to you, Sasha. Ready?
Okay.
The question is, how do you scratch? And you already got some tips. So, let's, ready? Go.
Scratching can be done in numerous ways. You can do aggressive scratching to where you're marking. You can do sensory play. You can lightly drag your fingertips across your partner or whoever you're playing with. You can
See their face.
You can
32.
Use as a tickling sensation. You can use it on the scalp. It could be dom play. It could be submissive play. It's not just for top or bottom. Scratching. You can do animalistic type sadomasochism with nails. It's almost a fine line between kink and self-harm. You want to make sure you're using discretion and your nails are clean, so you're not getting any infections or anything.
Good, you're good.
Okay.
That was good. Does anybody want to pick up on that? Like, is there anything that you want to add to the how do you scratch? Because like Kane gave a really good example, physical example. Does anybody have anything else to add to that?
Not that I may not use in my question.
Right, you're waiting for the next one? Okay. So, I mean, yeah, you can dig in to leave marks like Kane was saying before, or it can be lightly on the person. It just depends on the person you're playing with. And scratching is actually, I think you mentioned this already, Kane, like people like scratching for the marks. A lot of times it's about the markage, and the marks are worn as a badge of honor. Yeah, like it's a badge, it's a straight up badge. So, I mean, try it. And the best way to do the scratching is with your nails. And as long as, I mean, even if you're biting your nails, if there's something there, you can scratch with them. And if you don't have nails, there are tools and toys that you can use to do the scratching. Like,
are there more questions after this?
Huh?
Are there more questions after this?
Yeah, you've got 2 more. That's it. So it's just the Wartenberg pinwheel, and that's the tool that you would use. So, what are some safety tips for hair pulling and scratching? Kane, I'm throwing it your way. Ready? And go.
All right, so safety tips for hair pulling and scratching. I mean, I don't know how much more we can get into the hair pulling. I mean, you definitely want to have consent. You definitely want to have a safe word. You definitely want to make sure that you're using a proper amount of pressure so you're not putting too much strain on the vertebrae in the neck. You don't want to damage nerve endings. You don't want to pull hair out. When it comes to scratching, you definitely want to make sure your hands, just because you wash your hands doesn't mean underneath your nails are clean, especially if you have longer nails closer to the base where the flesh meets the nail part. That part usually holds a lot of bacteria, a lot of stuff. I mean, think about it. You pick your nose, you do all that stuff. All that stuff's getting trapped underneath there. Best practices are to scratch a bar of soap and then wash your hands and make sure you get all the soap and suds out from underneath. That makes sure that there's no bacteria under there. Antibacterial soap doesn't always work unless you put it in the palm of your hand and scratch inside the palm of your hand. I have gotten an infection from a bad scratch before.
You can finish what you were saying. Finish your story.
I got a bad infection from a scratch one time where it wasn't just a red mark. It wasn't just bleeding. After 2 days, it started to bruise and started to become tender around it. So what I had to do, and it was painful, was I had to get one of those scrub towels, and I had to reopen the scratch with a scrub towel and then pour rubbing alcohol down my back to cauterize that.
Oh gosh.
That actually turned into a fetish, which is actually why I enjoy scratches, was because the deeper you can go is what I want to do afterwards, you know, as stimulating as it is. The real pleasure for me is afterwards. I like to pour alcohol down my back now because it reopens, it just fires up all those nerve endings simultaneously. So the scratch happens from the top to the bottom and the sensation goes top to bottom. When you put alcohol into it, the sensation goes all at once, all over simultaneously. And that is more exhilarating than just, you know, the initial action.
Well, that's awesome, because I didn't know anything about that. Like, because it's not really my bag, or the thing that I do, but that was cool because I've never heard that before. So that's awesome. Does anybody have anything to add to it?
I will say this maybe for myself too, but if you find yourself like Kane has kind of fulfilled one kink within kind of another kink, if you find yourself kind of like thrill seeking, self-harm, or it's turning from kink to self-harm when you're going from scratching to kind of low-key cutting or doing other things, or you go from that to addictively kind of seeking tattoos, if you feel that kind of gradually
Building.
that appetite growing, digress it with friends, find community, you know, message somebody at Safe Word, and it's not a bad thing, but there's ways to reach out and kind of like hone in, like even, you know, certain things that we kind of obsess over, we kind of find a binge in it. So it's okay if it happens, but kind of have a safe word and a safe partners and somebody that you could tap into, like you have your lifeline friend, have a kink friend that you know you can come to if you're ever in like a kink crisis or something. You kind of got to have a safe partner too.
Yeah. And just in case, I think everybody here at Safe Word would respond with the quickness. If you guys out there are watching and you just need someone to talk to, or it went too far, or you need help with how to, you know, get out of a situation, that kind of thing, email us. Our email will be in the description box below.
You got a story you need to get off your chest. You need to like cool down. You didn't get a cool down, you know, within discretion, we will definitely reach out to you, give you an air hug, or give you some type of resource or information to help you guys with all your kinky needs and whatnot.
What were you going to say, Kane?
I was going to say, we are not the suicide hotline. We're not certified, but we are here for you guys.
But we love you guys.
Yeah,
do love you guys.
Do not expect some, you know, clinical professional grade advice coming from
or
the
priest.
4 of us running a YouTube channel.
Right.
We're not doctors. We're not going to prescribe anything aside from, you know, more leather.
If you feel like you have
reach out to those guys right there.
But we care and we do love you.
They're
we do
awesome.
care and we do love all you guys who come and hang out with us.
I'm Sasha's here. I know that Kane would answer an email.
My bosom is open, but not that open.
No, we're all very open here at Safe Word.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we are pretty cool.
Except you, Remy.
Last question, and then we're gonna close out the live because we dragged this one out. And it's being thrown at you, Remy. Got a chance to catch up, right?
Come back, King. Come on.
Ready? Is hair pulling and scratching only for beginners? And why or why not? This should be an easy one to ramble about for a minute. Ready? And go.
No, hair pulling and scratching is not only for beginners. And if you're going to talk about the beginning, hair pulling and scratching actually started off like during medieval times and or earlier than that, primitive times. You see primates in the zoo that still, do things like that. As far as it's like social grooming. Um, it was used to remove parasites and bugs and things of that nature. Um, when you get into more of an intermediate level, you get into the sadistic side, rough body play, primal play, pet play, um, and it could be used in that way. When you get to the more,
10
I
seconds.
guess, mature side, you can use claws. You get into fear play, emotional play, um, and that can be kind of iffy.
You can finish what you were saying. Finish what you were
I
saying.
was saying that could be kind of iffy if you really get into it. So you got to make sure that you don't get people triggered when it comes to that.
That was perfect. And no, I mean, does anybody have anything to add before I put on my twist on this?
Twisted sister.
All right. So, yeah, you can take it really far, like Remy was saying, and take it into extreme play. Some people like having their hair like completely ripped out. That's something that some people are into. So, if this can be used as a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. I mean, it's a great way for foreplay. It's a great way for warming things up. It's a great way for taking it more extreme. It's a great way for power exchange. It's a great way for, the tops to have full control. I think we kind of went over all of that. So hair pulling and scratching, basic repertoire thing, should be in your playbook and you should be using it. So let's see. What do we got here? 10, 20 plus
Just
4,
anything but Remy winning.
10 or 5, 10, 15, 5, 10. Okay. Ooh, Sasha. Miss Sasha. Miss Sasha, I'm going to need you to say, you the daddies. No, you can't hear? Huh? Wait, what? Be a team.
Shut up! I don't want
Be a team player, Sasha.
I just whimpered like a dog, and I didn't even mean to audibly do that. Like,
It didn't come through, but I'm gled you acknowledged it.
Okay, ready? I'm
Like we didn't hear it at all. Had
to
you not said
boost
anything,
on.
it wouldn't have been a thing.
I'm gonna need you guys to help to boost up the loser. Come on, take your punishment.
Damn. Damn.
Action. I was not ready.
No, you did really good. I mean,
Nah,
I don't
you
think
did
there's any
good. You
losers
really did.
tonight. I mean, nobody. I mean, there was definitely a lot of information that got passed.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's really what we're about here. That's what we're
Mhm.
gonna do. Sasha can post that on Instagram later. We're not gonna do it
Yeah,
tonight
he
during
saved
the live.
me from calling somebody daddy.
Oh no, you're gonna do that right now. Nah, we'll have this was a bet.
Why everybody grab that
You would have
cup
been real
now?
happy
That's
about
not
us, one of
okay.
us losing. You've
But why
been
did
ready for
everybody
it.
grab their cups? Like,
Remy,
Keep
it
up.
lasts longer on Instagram. So we're all good.
This is true. Nah, I don't know. Instagram could get closed down, but YouTube never dies.
Oh, goodness gracious.
daddy. Okay.
All right, Ken, you want to take us out?
Yeah, I got you guys. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. There was definitely a lot of unique information, a lot of fun information. I hope that we entertained you guys with our antics. I hope that we educated you guys with this information. And again, open door policy. Our emails are available. If you guys ever have any questions, comments, concerns, things you want to talk about, if you're interested in aftercare, if you need to message one of us about a kink situation that didn't necessarily go right, we're here for you. Like I said, we're not professional, but we'll listen, and sometimes that's all you need, is a shoulder to cry on and an ear to hear you. So from all of us here at Safe Word, thank you for joining us for tonight's live. Stay tuned because we got some interesting and fun stuff coming up. You're not going to want to miss. Like, subscribe so you don't miss a single thing. But until next time, all of you deviants, we'll check you guys out later. Good night.
Bye.